That was certainly a really, really powerful film and a really optimistic film, because I think in many ways it showed not only the culture that's been created by fashion, but the incredible power that we all have to recreate that culture.
Hey guys, I'm Jess Lewis. I am the producer of Straight Curve, as well as a former straight size, plus size model internationally. I want to challenge all of you to really critique the definition of diversity when you look at an image, because I know that when I look at the final group image that we did for the Straight Curve film, to me, and granted, I live in Peru diversity every day, to me, that image is not fully representative of the society that we live in. So I think that's something that all of you should be really aware of and constantly challenging in all of the imagery that you see, because ultimately that's what's really going to create real progress in our society.
Hi everyone, I'm Camille Moore. I am also a former model like Jess, straight size I guess, but now I'm actually, I guess, kind of the opposite of that. I'm a chef and a TV food expert on social. Often as a model of color with a, specific hair texture, you show up at a job and another white model can come and have her hair in its natural state, maybe wet, and everybody knows how to blow dry it or how to make it look a certain way for the shot. But when I would show up or other models of color would show up, it would be, ooh, I don't know what to do. So a hair and makeup artist should be prepared to deal with every color of skin. A hair person should know how to blow dry anybody's hair. As a chef, I cannot only know how to work with chicken breast. I have to know how to work with everything because that's my job. So it's not something that we need to take a special course in. It should be just part of it. And the same way they were talking about in the film, just knowing how to cut clothes for different types of bodies.
My name is Andrea LaMarre. I'm a PhD candidate at the university as well, and I do research on eating disorders and body image and weight stigma. So unfortunately, eating disorder services in Ontario are pretty slim, and Ontario is actually one of the better provinces in Canada. So something that I always like to let people know about is that there are actually only 12 psychiatrists who are dedicated to treating eating disorders in the country. About 500,000 people suffer from eating disorders, if not more. And then those are only diagnosed people. So those are the people who actually get to the doctor and get diagnosed with eating disorders. There are so many stereotypes and so much stigma around eating disorders, particularly in people of color, people in larger bodies, people with disabilities, people who aren't women, people who aren't heterosexual, just all sorts of stereotypes about who gets an eating disorder. Like, we still have this image of a thin white girl who is like hyper emaciated and who's just too vain. And that's really not the reality. And I think pertaining to the fashion discussion, it's really important to recognize that that's not the reality, because the measures that we see taken against eating disorders in the industry tend to just be, let's have models who don't have a BMI that's above a certain amount not walk. But people could have a BMI of whatever and still have an eating disorder and be, able to kind of persist with that eating disorder. So
one of the things I wanted to touch on is something that's been obviously very prevalent in the news, and this is issues around sexual harassment and sexual violence in the fashion industry.
My name is Karyn Inder, and I'm a plus-size model, mental health advocate, and speaker on women empowerment. It's just being honest about what happens in a photo shoot in order to protect other girls in the future. And I don't know, to your second question, I don't know if anyone is omitted from, being exposed to this in terms of race or disability. At the end of the day, it is a power thing, and to me, I feel like if you are in a position where someone is able to abuse the power and shift it, then unfortunately you can become a victim. And especially, I love seeing pictures of sets, and it's like, this is not a bedroom, this is my office. And that's how every model approaches, their work.
We had a shoot very recently where I thought that the model was going to be 18, just based on her photo. She was done up to look that way, and she showed up and she was 13 years old. Her dad came with her, and we obviously have a very friendly, welcoming set, But you could see how a girl in that position, being in the position that you were, she probably would have made a different choice, or she might have, because she wouldn't have felt like she had any power. And in that situation, she really doesn't.
What can we do to make change? And what can fashion students right now do in university to promote change?
As far as what you can do to, in a way, force the hand of brands and publications globally, use your social media, tag them, support the brands who are doing something that aligns with your beliefs and your philosophies and what you want to see. That is so important. I can't stress that enough. And you'll call out publications and brands who are doing something that you don't like, because they are all watching.
And time's up, most importantly, because all of you. Because all of you are the future of the fashion industry, and you're going to change all of the practices that we don't like and make something that's inclusive, make something that's empowering, and make an industry that we're all proud to be in.